All right, welcome to this free masterclass. I'm so excited. There's so many people here today. I'm actually amazed at how many people signed up for this masterclass. We had at least over 500 signups for this masterclass. It's pretty amazing. I don't think I've ever had a masterclass with this many signups or any webinar or anything I've ever done with this many signups. So I think that I'm very excited to be here with you today because if you did sign up for this masterclass, I know that you're a very driven, ambitious entrepreneur and you want to achieve a lot of things in life. So just imagine the kinds of people that are in this room today. I'm very excited to have you here. And I would also love for you to engage in the chat during the masterclass. I won't respond to any questions now. If we have time for it at the end, I will save it for the end. Otherwise, I will respond to your question in one way or another. So, also for this masterclass, when I prepared for it, I was thinking, should I have a presentation? And I decided, no, I'm gonna do this without a presentation because when you have a presentation, sometimes there's a block between you and the listener and the viewer. And I really wanted to feel like we're all in this room today and I'm talking to all of you. And I have a lot of things to say about this topic. So I'm very excited to have you all here today. It's really amazing how many people signed up for this. And I just started posting about it on Friday. So if you're here today, you are here because you want to become an authority in your industry, because that is the topic of this masterclass. And most likely you are a business owner, maybe you sell your services, your expertise, and you know that when you become an authority in your industry, that's how you attract a lot of clients, a lot of high paying clients. You want to attract your dream clients, and you also probably want sales to be easier, because when you're an authority in your industry, everything kind of becomes easier because you are the go-to person in your industry. So I assume that's what you're doing here, and if that's you, let me know in the chat. And so why am I talking about this? Because not a lot of you, not everyone here knows necessarily who I am. Why am I talking about this subject? Maybe you signed up because you saw this subject seemed really interesting, but why am I talking about this? Why am specifically I talking about this? Well, I started my business a few years ago, almost 4 years ago. And when I started my business, I was a consultant. I was a marketing consultant. And I didn't know anyone. I didn't have a network in my industry. I didn't have any leads, any sales, any personal brand. I started from zero. And let me know in the chat if you also did this, where you started from absolute zero. I didn't have a lot of savings. I really had to jump because that's the kind of person I am. I have to, go all in when I do something. I really have to decide that this is what I'm gonna do. Now I'm gonna do this. I need to be a little bit financially stressed to really feel that motivation. So I didn't start with a big savings account. I didn't start with leads. I didn't have any clients. Really, I did start from zero. And I never networked. I never was a networker. I really didn't like networking. I didn't like going to events. I didn't like, you know, going to parties and talking to people just because you need to get the information and you need to connect with people because it's good to have this big broad network. So that's actually why I never thought that I would become a business owner, because I knew how important your network is and how important your personal brand is, and I never really cared for that kind of stuff before. And if you fast forward a little bit there, I started becoming the go-to person in my niche. Back then, I chose my niche, which was TikTok marketing. So instead of trying to do everything marketing, I decided I was going to talk about TikTok. This was a few years ago when nobody knew anything about TikTok yet. And people were like, what's TikTok? Why should we be there? So I very quickly went from nobody knows who I am, I don't have a name in my industry, I don't have any clients, to being known in my niche, having a name. So my target audience knew my name and knew who I was. And I had a lot of clients, incoming clients coming to me. How can I work with you, Joella? How can I, can you come to our company, talk about this? And I could also charge good money for my services as well, because people went to me. They didn't go to 10 different people to asking what their prices are, or, if they're cheaper than me. Because when you're an authority in your industry, you can't compare to anyone else. People aren't going to go and compare you and your prices to everyone, because you are the authority in this industry. You are the go-to person. So price doesn't matter, because people want to work with you. And I realized that this was kind of, I knew that I had achieved something unique. I knew that I had achieved something going from zero to becoming a go-to person, where I was invited to podcasts. I was got to participate in articles where I was the expert, being quoted as the expert. I had incoming clients, I had dream clients coming to me. I got to teach about this subject. And I realized I had really made something, created something from zero, just truly by myself. I had created that result for myself by building authority in my industry. And when I realized that I had achieved this, I also realized I wanted to help more business owners achieve the same thing, because I knew how much easier it had made my life to build authority in my industry, build my personal brand. I knew that if I hadn't done that, I don't know if I would be a business owner today. It just seems too hard. I would still be selling my hours. Maybe I would sell my hours to some company and, full time. I don't know what I would do, because I honestly don't know what I would do if I didn't have a personal brand, if I hadn't built authority in my industry. So I started helping other business owners achieve the same thing. I started coaching them a little bit on the side of everything else I did. And then it got to the point where I realized there's so many people coming to me wanting help with this. There's so many people that need help building their personal brand, building authority, attracting clients, becoming that next level version of themselves. So I completely left my former niche and I changed my niche. So now I'm a business mentor, and I help business owners, mainly consultants, coaches, business owners that sell services, build authority in their industries, attract clients and leads, and sell premium services. And I built my personal brand in that niche. I did the same thing. And once again, I'm attracting clients to me consistently. Once again, I'm able to charge good money for my services. Once again, I have built authority in another niche. So I've done it twice. I've done it in two different niches. I've done it towards two different audiences in two different ways. And I'm helping my other clients do it as well. And that's why I'm talking to you about this subject today, because I have done it twice. I help clients do it today. I help business owners do the same thing, building their brands, attracting clients, selling out their offers, and stuff like that. And that's my story. That's where I started and that's where I went from. So the question is, how did I do that? How did I go from nobody knows who I am, nobody cares when I message them, I don't have a name, nobody knows who I am, to attracting high paying clients, to building authority in my niche and being perceived as an authority? How did I do that? Well, the reason why, because the reason why you want to become an authority in your industry, I hope, is because you're building a business, not because you want to feed your ego. That's the number one thing, okay? Because if you're here because you want to become an authority so you can be popular and loved by everyone, that's not how to become an authority in your industry. That's not how you become an authority, being loved, being popular. And I will talk more about this later. But the reason why you want to become an authority in your industry, I hope, is because you want to make sales easier, you want to attract high paying clients, you want to charge more money for your services, you want to be able to talk about an offer and have people run to buy it. Or do a masterclass and 500 people sign up for it in just a few days. I don't know. And the reason why high paying clients come to you or come to someone and goes to buy from someone is not because you are the most qualified of all the people, you're the best in your industry, you have 100 testimonials, you have all of these things, or you have 20 years of experience. That's not why people pay a lot of money for someone's services, actually. And this might be why you think high paying clients come. So that's why, maybe, I don't know if you can relate to this, but a lot of people become obsessed with, taking courses, learning, becoming better. I need to take more and more courses because I don't know this thing, I don't know this thing, I don't know this thing, so I need to improve my skills in my industry so I can become the best. And when I become the best, then people will come to me. So then you're wasting years when you could be building a business and becoming an authority in your niche in education and not taking action. And you think that just because you're taking all these courses, or you're going to get a master's degree, whatever you're doing, you think that that's going to get you the high paying clients. What does it matter if nobody knows who you are? What does it matter how good you are at what you do if nobody knows? So yes, Patricia said that's a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap because you constantly feel like I'm not good enough. And the reason why you do this is because you have imposter syndrome. And you think, if I just keep becoming better, I will get over that imposter syndrome. I will finally feel good enough. I will finally feel like I deserve to attract high paying clients, or I deserve. And the funny thing is, you will never get there. You will never get to the point where you're educating yourself and becoming better and better, and then you feel good enough. Because there's no such thing as perfection. So you need to start from where you are now. Because the point is that anybody, as long as you're good at what you do, you know your stuff. And that's the reason why you even started your business. I assume you didn't start a business in an area you don't know anything about, okay? I assume already that you are qualified in the sense that you have experience, you have happy clients, you know your stuff, you're educated, whatever it is. But there's always this sense of I need to become better. Maybe I'm not good enough. But you are, because you can start from where you are now and start actually creating results and becoming an authority in your niche, starting from where you are. Because like I said, high paying clients don't just pay someone a lot of money for their services because they are super qualified, they have all the degrees, they have a nice resume, they have the best testimonials, they're loved by everyone. You know what's really funny? When I started my business, I built my personal brand, I attracted clients. It's very rare that people even asked me for testimonials and cases and stuff like that, because they had trust in me and they connected with me. So they already believed in me, and they didn't even need to ask me about my testimonials or case studies or anything like that. They barely asked me about my experience, how long I have worked in this industry or something, because when they came to me, they already made the decision based off of my content, and then meeting me that I like you, I want to work with you, let's try this. Because I'm not relying on my testimonials, I'm not relying on my references. I have them, but a lot of people think that they can run a business forever based on references, like happy clients. Then if that's what you're doing, then you're giving all of your power in sales to your clients. So you're just at home, sitting at home, waiting for your current clients or former clients to recommend you. Do you think that will go on forever? Is that how you scale a business? Is that how you will get high paying clients? Is that how you will keep being able to run a business? You need to have clients come to you because they know of you from something else, because of the content you have created, because of who you are, and not just because somebody recommended you. So references is amazing. Like, it's really good that you have happy clients and you're getting references from people, and it's great that you have nice testimonials, but none of these things really matter if you don't build authority, if you don't build your personal brand. Okay? So if high paying clients don't come because you're the most qualified, or because you have the best references, the best testimonials, or you're loved by everyone, why do they come? Well, people pay for who you are, the kind of person you are, how you think about things, your energy, because you're different from everyone else, and because you're an authority, because they perceive you as an authority. Okay? So it's usually, I like to think about it as two aspects. One thing is they will like you, they will come to you because they like you, they like your vibe, they vibe with you, okay? The other aspect is they perceive you as an authority. And sometimes people think it's, one thing is enough. I just have to work on, my personal brand means posting about my kids on social media or relatable stuff, and I can, I can build relationships with people that way. Well, then you will get a lot of friends, but you won't get those high paying clients to you. Okay? So yes, your energy, your vibe, your everything is super important. Like, people need to like you, but they also need to perceive you as an authority. You know your stuff. And these things also come together, okay? So the fact that they like you and they like your vibe will also affect their perception of you as an authority. But these things need to go hand in hand. And being an authority does not mean showing up in a suit, having perfect photos of yourself in a suit. I'm an authority. Again, it does not mean you're the most experienced person. It does not mean that you are. That's not what it is. Because when you think of authority, you might feel like that feels so far away from me. Being an authority, like, what does that even mean? You might feel so far away from the people that you perceive as an authority. But what is being an authority? Being an authority means being a leader. And what does a leader do? They lead the way. Okay? They attract people, they get people to follow them, they get people to listen to them. And I'm not talking about a manager, I'm talking about a leader. because you can be a leader even if you don't have a manager position, you know? So they lead people. They lead people, they attract people, they lead the way, they connect with people. So that's what being an authority is. It's leading the way. It's showing the way. So it's not trying to follow everyone, doing what everyone else is doing, trying to be like everyone else, looking at other people on social media. How can I be more like them? How can I copy their branding? Maybe I can copy their posts. Maybe I can copy their offers. Maybe I can copy that. That's not being a leader. A leader paints the vision, walks the way, and gets people to follow them there. Okay? And you can do this without having a lot of experience or being the best in your industry. It's walking your own way. It's going your own way, having your own opinions. So you don't need a lot of experience. You need to start from where you are. So sometimes when I see people attempting to build authority in their industry, they make some mistakes, okay? And one of them are that they lie about where they are. They're saying that they're making more money than they're really making. They say that they have all this experience that they don't have, or they fake testimony, whatever it could be. I need to have all this, you know, and that's not the way to go. But I also don't believe that any of you here is that kind of person, okay? I don't believe that. I don't think that's why you sign up for this massive class, is because you wanted to do that. But some people do it. So it's not about trying to be someone you're not. It's not looking at someone feeling like, well, they have a lot of experience and they have all of these testimonials and I don't have that, so I can't be an authority. I have to, you know, wait a couple of years. So I need more experience. Because you can start from where you are. When I started building my personal brand, I started building authority in my niche. Did I say that I was a super successful entrepreneur? Did I say that I, you know, had a bunch of clients? Did I say that, you know, I had amazing results? Did I say any of that? No, I didn't need to do that. What I needed to do was, it really starts with how you perceive yourself. Because I knew when I started my business, nobody cared who I was. Nobody would sign up. 500 people would not sign up for something like this. I knew that I was meant for more. I knew that I would get to this point. Not my exact vision of the future was not exact, but I knew that I was meant to lead. I knew that I was meant to be successful. I knew that I had a lot of interesting things to say. I knew I was skilled in my industry. I knew I had smart things to say. So I had that perception of myself. If you have a negative perception of yourself, where you're looking at yourself, I suck, I don't know anything, and then you try to build a brand and build authority in a way that feels like, oh, this is not me, then there will be a disconnect and everyone will tell. So it's not about being someone you're not. Start from where you are. Start from where you are and build in a way that is authentic to you. And start thinking of yourself and start telling yourself that you are an authority. You have something to say. What you have to say is interesting, and other people want to listen to you. They want to listen to you. They want to listen to your story. They think you have something to say. So you need to feel that you have something to say and that you can lead. So don't try to become someone when you're becoming an authority in your industry. Don't try to become someone that, oh, you feel like this is not me. I see other people doing it this way, but this doesn't feel like me. It feels like something's off here. You don't have to be like me to become an authority in your industry. You don't have to be like other people to become an authority in your industry, because that's not what it's about. It's starting from where you are, thinking that I have something to say, I have a story to share, I know that I have interesting things to say, I know people will be attracted to me. Okay? And it's also very important. Another very important part that I did when I started building authority in my industry, and I'm still doing, is it's very important the energy you bring into your content. Because now when I'm talking about building authority in your industry, yes, I was invited to podcast articles, stuff like that, but it was never something I tried doing, okay? I used social media. Specifically, I used LinkedIn. Now I'm also using other social media channels like Instagram. But I didn't, you know, think of, oh, now I need to be featured in an article or I need to be on podcast. Those things happened as a result of my social media presence, okay? It wasn't even networking in real life. I didn't even go to any networking events or anything like that. Because I couldn't, because it was the pandemic. So I was in my couch writing content, attracting people to me, building authority. Okay. So again, the energy you bring into your content is very important, because something I see a lot of people doing on social media is create content from the energy of lack, because they need clients, they want clients, they're not selling enough, they need money. If you're creating from a sense of, I need to post on LinkedIn or Instagram right now because I need money, I need clients, people need to buy from me now, I need something from other people, sorry, it's not going to work. It won't work. It never does. Because people can sense that desperate energy. Just imagine yourself. You're in a bar, someone walks up to you, and you feel like this energy, like desperate energy. They want you to go out with them, and you feel like this desperate energy from them that, oh, I don't want to talk to them. I just want, oh, no, no, no. Okay? That's not attracting. That's not attracting people. Okay? That's not attractive. It's the same in business, because it's not attractive when somebody is desperate for clients, or somebody's desperate for money, desperate for results, desperate, or they see their content on social media not performing as well, or they're not getting followers fast enough, whatever it is you're chasing. But chasing something, that sense of chasing, is very obvious in content, very obvious. Okay, that energy, if you're creating from that energy, you need to find a way to leave that energy. Because I will tell you something, when I started my business, I told you I didn't have a lot of money. I built my brand as an authority in my niche. What did I do to avoid having a desperate energy in my content? Well, I had zero expectations to get any clients or sales from my personal brand, even the first year. Okay. Did I get clients and sales? Yes, but I had zero expectations. So I built my brand while actually selling other things that was not part of my personal brand. So I was trying to make money any way I could, but I would not bring that into my personal brand. I built my brand in the area I wanted to build my brand in without even expecting anything in return. My energy in when I created content was, I want to give to people. I want to give, give, give. I want to add value to people. So I'm going to wake up in the morning and I'm going to think about, how can I help people more today? How can I give them what they want to know more about? How can I give them value today? And meeting people like in real life as well, when I was building my brand and I met people in meetings and stuff like that, I always thought, when I meet this person one-on-one, I want them to leave that meeting and feel like, wow, I had so much value from her. It was just a lunch and I felt like she taught me something. That's the energy I had in my content the entire time, even when I was barely making enough money, because the money in the short term did not matter to me. As long as I could pay my bills, I didn't need to spend anything. As long as I could pay my bills, which, in the beginning, barely. I think we've all been there, or a lot of people have been there. But I was so, like, my brand, my personal brand was so important to me. It was like this treasure that I had, and it still is. It's so important to me because it is like, a piece of gold, because it's always giving me something in return. But it will only give you something in return if you are giving, something 10 times more back. So you need to wake up in the morning and feel like, I'm giving to people, I'm giving them value, I'm not desperate for clients. That's not the energy you want to have. You won't build authority. You won't become an authority in your industry. You won't build a personal brand that attracts high paying clients. So really make sure that you are creating content from more of a sense of abundance, where I'm just giving. I'm generous, and not from I need. Okay? So this is very important, because it's a massive difference in the type of results you get in terms of clients, incoming clients. And I understood that what I was doing was working when I saw that my ideal clients started connecting with me. They started sending connection requests. They started writing to me. People started tagging me, recommending me without even working with me before. And that was because I had this sense of give. And that is something you should never leave. It doesn't matter if you're new in your business or if you've run a business for years and years. Just give. Just have this sense of, I want to give to people. They need to hear this. I want to share this with them. Because that is attractive, okay? So you just imagine that then if you're in a bar, again, there's not that desperate person who's like, come, go out with me, go out with me. I need to go out with you. Oh, no, it's that person that's walking up to you in the bar, buying you a drink. You're sharing an interesting conversation, but they're not even asking you to do anything. They're barely asking you out. That's attractive, okay? So it's the same in business. So, and I'm not saying that means you shouldn't sell on social media. Yes, of course you can sell, because that's also giving people. That's also giving something to people. So even when you sell, there should be this energy of, I'm giving this. This is an amazing offer. This is an amazing service that I'm selling, and this is an opportunity for people. That's also an opportunity. That's also a sense of giving. But what I'm saying is, you shouldn't use social media with the energy of, I'm taking, I need to take. Something that I really don't like is, networking events, physical networking events. Something that is super important to me when I go to networking events. I'm not going there with this goal of like, who's coming? Is this worth my time? How many potential clients can I get from this networking event? And when I'm talking to someone, I'm like waiting to pitch myself, like, yeah, so I'm a business mentor, and I know some people don't agree with me, and they're like, yes, I always go to networking events with a goal in mind. I'm gonna get clients. It's something that I'm really grossed out by, honestly. Go to networking events to connect with people, and every single person you meet at this networking event, give them value, give them something, inspire them, share some interesting information, make them feel good after being around you. It's the same on social media. Okay, so whatever you do, whatever channels you're using, podcast, social media, in real life, whatever, always have this sense of I'm giving because that's attracting. And don't think of it like I'm giving too much and I feel like people should give back to me soon. Just keep giving and you will get things in return, because that's how it works. Okay? Don't be afraid to sell. That's not what I'm saying. I sell all the time. You guys know who follow me on Instagram. I sell. I'm not scared to sell at all. But that's also giving, because my services have value and I know I can help people. So why wouldn't you sell? Your content on social media won't help people enough. So if they really want to be helped, they can buy your services. Okay? So when we talk about becoming an authority, I mentioned to you that it's not about who is the most experienced, has the most testimonials, is the most qualified, loved by everyone, whatever. It's about who you are, and it's about giving to people, and it's about being a leader and leading the way, creating a vision. That's how you get people to follow you. Okay? Being a leader is how you get people to follow you and want to work with you. And you can start from where you are right now. You don't have to pretend to be someone you're not. You can start from where you are. Even if you just started, you can start from there. Because when I started just being a real nerd about my niche. That's what I started doing. I wasn't talking about, oh, I'm so successful, I have this and that. That's not what I was talking about. I just showed my deep interest in this and I started talking like an authority. That's the vibe I created in my content. So I started talking like an authority because I thought of myself as that. And then that's what happened, that people started perceiving me as an authority because that's how I already saw myself. Okay. And there are three things when it comes to content, specifically how to give you some specific like takeaways to start implementing. When it comes to your business strategy, how to become an authority, or marketing strategy, how to become an authority, there are three things you need to be very, very, very strategic about, okay? If you want to become an authority in your industry. The number one thing is your niche, okay? It's much easier to become an authority in your industry when it's an industry that isn't massive, okay? If you want to become an authority in the marketing industry, you are competing against hundreds of thousands of people, millions. And that's fine. It's not impossible to become an authority, but it's harder. Because if a journalist is thinking, who should I contact to talk about this? Or a podcast host is thinking, who should I contact to talk about this? Or a high paying client is thinking, I have this problem, who should I reach out to? They will pick the one that's top of mind, okay? And it's really hard to be top of mind. It's harder to be top of mind in a very, very big niche, in a very, very broad niche. And that's why I tell a lot of coaches, especially coaches, I know there's a lot of coaches here. So especially coaches, I know life coaches, that's, I think, a mistake many do. They try to be very broad. I help women, live their dream lives, whatever that is, but that's not specific enough. It's not specific. So you're gonna be top of mind when it comes to dream life, or like, how do you do that? Because it's much easier to become an authority in a smaller niche, okay? When I started building my personal brand within TikTok, I was one of the few people, I think I was the only person on LinkedIn, maybe, that was talking about this, because it was such a small niche back then. It's not anymore, but back then it was a very small niche. So it was very easy for me to take that spot. because there weren't a lot of people talking about this. So when people started thinking, oh, about TikTok, they started thinking of me. That happened very quickly for me because of this reason. So when you're choosing a niche, think of something that either exists or something that you know is kind of growing. Because if you're picking something that's growing and it's on its way, like TikTok was back then, and people still said, when I started, people still said this is not a thing. People, this is, businesses shouldn't be here. You can't market on TikTok stuff. I didn't agree with them. So, and this is leadership. So I didn't agree with what everyone else in my industry was saying about TikTok, because what I saw, people that I looked up to in my industry said this is not a thing. And I disagreed. So I said, I think TikTok is amazing and this is what you should do there, blah, blah, blah. And then people like, oh, interesting, interesting. You have a different opinion. You're talking about a subject that not everyone else is talking about. So choose something that exists. There's a need, but maybe there's not enough people in that niche, in that need, filling that need, or something that is growing and it's coming and you believe that it's coming, okay? And I think you know better than I do about your own industry. But if you're not sure what that should be, then you need to research it. You need to go out and talk to people. And it can also be good. What I did was I started posting on social media about different topics to test out what are people drawn to the most. And I noticed when I started talking about TikTok, that created a lot of engagement. So I realized, there's something here, because when I post about that, that's boring to people, but this is interesting to people. So I think this is something. So that's also something you can do to go out, talk about different topics and see what engages people the most. Next is to be very strategic about your ideal client. So who do you want to attract? Because you don't need to be perceived as an authority in your entire industry to every single person in the entire world. That is not, you don't need to build authority in that way. You can, but you don't need to. It's easier becoming an authority to your ideal client in a specific niche, okay? I mean, there are people that I follow that I perceive as an authority, but other people don't vibe with because they're not their ideal client, but I might be their ideal client. I perceive them as an authority, but other people perceive someone else as an authority. But I like how this person is talking about that subject and they're talking to me. So make sure you know exactly who you want to attract by building your brand and why you are even trying to become, an authority in your industry. You want to attract people. Who do you want to attract? If you're the leader, who do you want as a follower? Who do you want to come to you? Who do you want to, because that's going to determine a lot of things in your business and your strategy and your content. So it's easier to be a leader to a group of people that thinks you're amazing and you're their go-to person than trying to be appealing to everyone, because this is a mistake a lot of people are doing. But I think we talk a lot about target audience. I think everyone here have heard about target audience. Everyone has heard about, oh yeah, you need to choose a target audience, but be very specific. Who is the type of person? So your niche and your ideal client will determine a lot and will make a huge difference in becoming an authority in your industry. Because if you want to get to the point where you actually, you're thinking, well, I dream of becoming one of the top people in the world in this. Well, then it's very smart to start small. When I started with TikTok, the niche TikTok, I was never planning on staying in that niche. I never wanted to be the go-to TikTok person. Actually, I was, but my plan was always to broaden. Then what happened was I was so successful doing it that I started helping business owners doing the same thing instead. So now I'm not even in the marketing industry anymore, helping big companies, because I don't want to do that anymore. But my plan was always to broaden. It was much easier to attract people to me, and they say, well, you seem like you know a lot of things about this, but do you also, talk about other parts of marketing and social media? Then I can be like, yeah, I do. So actually, so it's easier to start small, start niche, start local, and then broaden. And instead of trying to, some people come to me and ask, well, should I post on in English, in Swedish, whatever? Well, it's very start to start small, very smart to start small. Because if the purpose for you to become an authority in your industry is to attract high paying clients, which I think a lot of you, that's part of it. Attract high paying clients, maybe attract media opportunities, attract amazing dream, assignments, whatever it is. If that's the purpose for you, then it's easier to start by becoming an authority to, 100 people. If you're like the number one authority to 100 people in a specific niche, and there's 30 of those people want to buy from you, that's amazing. So start there. Become the leader to smaller group and then broaden if you want to. Next is your content. So we said 3 things to be very strategic about is your niche, your chosen ideal client, and your content, okay? So the type of content you create is a big reason to why you become an authority in your industry. We talked about how the type of person you are, the energy you need to have in your content, the type of person you need to be. And then we talked about being strategic with your niche and your ideal client. But when it comes to your content, something that a lot of people think is that you become an authority in your industry just by sharing educational content, sharing tips. I just need to share 3 tips how to do this. Now people will think I'm an expert. Now people think of me as an authority. But fact is, it's not enough. That's not enough. It used to be. In the past, you could start posting educational content. I will just share 3 tips how to do this, 3 tips how to do this. And then people will start perceiving me as an authority. That's not enough. Not anymore. We want to see more leaders. I told you before that being an authority is being a leader. It's creating a vision, it's leading the way. So you lead the way by having an opinion, having a perspective. So by just posting content and saying, these are 3 tips. No, I want to know what you think. I want to know, based on your specific experience, what did you do to help your clients achieve this specific result? So be very specific and share things that you couldn't copy, something that AI could never create, because now with artificial intelligence being smarter and smarter, it's becoming like branding, personal brand, authorities becoming even more important, because the knowledge is no longer as important when the knowledge can be, brought by AI. But something AI can't do is personality, authority, opinions, because it's a machine. But the facts they have, okay? So it's not enough to just create value in terms of educational. Why do you think that the future of your industry will go this way? Why do you think what they're saying on the news about a certain topic is wrong? Why do you disagree with other people in your industry about something? Or why do you think the number 1 way to achieve a certain result is to do this? So this is your opinion. This is being an authority. This is being an authority and leading the way, not just posting content, not just posting things that, are, it's not enough to just post tips. That's what I'm trying to say. So share your insights, share your tips, not something you Googled, not something that you learned in school, not something that anyone could write. So something that only you could write or create content about. Your own opinion. Lead the way, show the way, lead the way, paint the vision. And also tell people why you are the one to have an opinion on this. So in order to become an authority in your industry, you also have to build trust with people. And you have to, yes, it's great that you're sharing, you have to share your opinion, lead the way, but also share why you have an opinion on it. So why, like if I talked about this today with you and said, I'm doing a masterclass on how to become an authority in your industry, and I'm going to talk about it. Yes, I would still share the same content, but if I skipped my story in the beginning where I told you what I achieved in my business and what I achieved in 2 different niches, you wouldn't have as much trust in me that I am someone who is an authority in this, okay? So share your story, why you are someone to have an opinion on this. What is your background? What have you done for clients? What is your specific story? What have you achieved for yourself? And especially if you sell something that you have achieved for yourself. If you're a coach or if you're, something like that, and you have achieved it for yourself, then you are your absolute best testimonial. And then you need to lean into telling your story even more. And you have to keep repeating it, repeat it. Because sometimes I notice with my clients as well, they post something like they post their story and then think, okay, now I've done it now. I posted about my story. Now I can go back to this other type of content. But no, you have to constantly repeat. You have to like put it into people's brains. What do you do? Who do you help? What's your story? What's your expertise? Constantly, okay? Repeat. I don't know how many times the story I told you in the beginning. Well, I told you about, my story going from 0 to building authority in my industry in 2 different niches. Now I'm scaling my business. All my clients come to me, blah, blah, blah. That story I've told a million times. But some of you today are still hearing that story for the first time. And some of you, have heard it kind of, but still need to be reminded. Or you've heard parts of it. And I constantly have to repeat because that's building trust in me that I have something to say about this. And I'm not just talking about it because it's an interest, but because I have actually achieved this and I know what I'm talking about. So share the value with personality, with your own opinions, your insights. And this is something I also want to say, because the reason why people don't do it, because some of you know this already. Some of you think, well, I already know this. Yes, I should say what my opinions are, stuff like that. But if you're not doing it, the reason usually is because you care a lot about what other people think. You're worried about what other people will think. You're scared of getting criticism for your opinions. You're scared of people in your industry disagreeing with you. You're scared of not being perceived as good enough or talented enough, or like you don't know enough. You're scared. That's why you're not sharing your opinions. That's why you're not taking up space. And this, I know. But if you are allowing that fear to control what you do, you will never become an authority in your industry, because being an authority in your industry is not trying to be likable all the time. It's sometimes saying things that people might not agree with, that people might disagree with. And it also means opening up for the possibility of criticism. It's possible. I can't say that it's not going to happen. 99.9% of the time it doesn't happen. You might think that it's going to happen to like a lot, but it doesn't usually, okay? But it can. It can definitely happen, but you have to decide that that fear will not control what you do. Because being authentic and being yourself on social media, for me, building my brand was freeing. When I was an employee, I felt like I had to silence myself. If I said an opinion, I was representing my employer. So I felt like, so you have to decide, I'm going to be myself, and it's incredibly freeing to be yourself. And because I am myself, because I say what my opinions are, because I sometimes will say things that isn't likable, that's why people are attracted to me. That's why people are drawn to me. That's why clients are drawn to me. And that's why some clients are not drawn to me. Being your authentic self is going to attract people, okay? And creating likable content that is like fluffy and everybody likes it and it's cute and it's like nice, but you're censoring yourself, that is not becoming an authority. That is just melting in with everyone else, melting into the background, being like everyone else. Becoming an authority is not being like everyone else. It's not being like everyone else. It's being you. So lead the way. Okay? And this masterclass today, I set as only an hour. We might go over a little bit because I want to share something with you. And then I also want to look through the chat a bit and see if I can answer any questions, because I didn't leave time for it at the end. So if you do need to leave soon, that's okay. You can watch the recording afterwards. But first, I want to say that if you want to do this for real, then you can work with me. I have a 12-week program. Yes, and Linnea just posted it in the chat. I have a 12-week program called Brand Accelerator Program, where I've already helped a lot of business owners build their personal brands, build authority in their niches. And I would love to work with you there, especially because the people that are here today, I know, are very driven people. They want to achieve more. And the purpose of joining that program is to create a personal brand that attracts people, attracts clients, attracts high-paying clients. So Linnea linked to it, to the landing page about the program in the chat. The landing page is currently in Swedish. I actually have to translate it. So if you speak English, feel free to reach out to me directly and we can talk. But that it's a 12-week program that is really amazing, giving you the step-by-step process for building a personal brand and attracting clients to you. It's really like following step by step every single week for how you become the kind of person who attracts clients and high-paying clients to you. So go check out the landing page and fill out an application to work with me, or send me a message. You can also just send me a message and we'll talk. And thank you for today. I will check out the chat now because I know it was quite active. I'm very excited to check out what you guys have been writing. And I also know that there are a lot of people watching the live on Facebook right now. So I will take a look. And again, if you have to leave, that's fine. Go ahead and leave. I won't be offended. So I will answer some questions, and if you have to leave, you can watch the recording, okay? So let's see, if you have any questions, you can write in the chat, and then Linnea, I will also ask you about anything you see in the Facebook live. Joanna said she thinks it's hard to take out her energy on social media and on video when you don't have anyone to, okay, I understand. Like she thinks it's hard to just talk to the camera without anyone there. And Joanna, I want to say that you could do two things here. Like the first thing is think about what type of format do I come across well in? Because some people are really, not great at recording themselves, but they're amazing writers. So focus on writing, and then work on improving your video skills. You can film yourself and not post it for a week if you want to, and you will practice. But something else you could do is record yourself talking to someone. Have your friend or someone interview you and record content. You can do that. That's one way to do it. And Emma asked, will people not get annoyed with constant repeating? And Crystal responded, if people are annoyed, then they're not your ideal client. Yes, exactly. Why do you care if people are annoyed? It doesn't matter if they're not going to buy from you. That's why I think if you're in my newsletter, I know a lot of you are, I send out my newsletter quite often, okay? If you're still on my newsletter, I know it's because you enjoy getting them. And if you unsubscribed, you think it's, oh, this is too much, this is not interesting to me, that's okay. Because I'm not trying to be everyone's cup of tea. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to be those of you that are here today. I hope I'm your cup of tea, but if I'm not, that's okay also. Great. Another question. Once you started attracting clients, how do you best present your pricing? I have had experiences of people ghosting after they hear my packages, even though they reached out to me first. I got this question in my last paid masterclass, and I just want to say that this happens, okay? I have this happen to me also very often. And I think it's because people they either can't make a decision, or they're scared to say no. They're scared to offend you, or they're scared that you will not accept no for an answer. And I think if you follow up with them and they're still not responding to you, there's really nothing you can do. Just let it go, because they're not going to be a good client anyway. If they ghost you and you write to them, you follow up with them 3 times and they still don't respond, they're not going to be a good client to work with, okay? Let it go, let it go. Move on to the people that actually want to work with you. Martina wrote, I love the part about giving when you're networking, giving value and leaving people to want more. My question is, how do you set boundaries when people start seeing you as generous? I love this question, because yes, people can sometimes think, oh, you're giving so much value all the time on social media. Now I can ask for free advice. Now I can, reach out and ask for this. I think this is also an energy thing as well. I think it's very important to be very generous, but also have very clear boundaries. I have very clear boundaries. When people ask me, like, can we have a meeting? Can you give me feedback, whatever? I'm very happy to respond. Sometimes when people DM me, I will send a voice message. If I have time, I will do it. But I will also tell people if they're crossing a line, I will tell people very kindly that I don't have the time and space for it. And if they are interested for help, here's the link to buy, a coaching hour, or here's this. So you can say very kindly, because I personally am very protective of my time and energy. So that means I don't do meetings randomly all the time. I don't really do sales meetings either. So I don't want to offend people when I say I don't do that, but I also want to explain that I'm building my business, and I'm not, I'm not building my business in a way where I'm constantly giving my energy away to everyone all the time. That's not going to work. And Jessica said, as a consultant, time is your most precious asset. How much time do you spend on marketing versus consultant assignment? Now I know I'm no longer a consultant. I don't have any consulting assignments. I only have my, coaching, mentoring clients. But when I did, I think you can start from where you are, as long as you're doing it strategically. So I started by just posting a few hours per week on LinkedIn, posting a few posts per week on LinkedIn, spending some time there, but I did prioritize it. So I think, yes, consultant time is your most precious asset, but please remember that the time you invest into your personal brand and your marketing, it's supposed to give you time back. It's supposed to give you money back. It's supposed to save time on sales, everything. That's the only way I get clients today. That's how I'm scaling my business. That's how I'm making more money. That's how I'm able to not do sales meetings. That's how I'm able to, have clients come to me and pay me for my services, because I mean, time, it makes no sense to me to only focus on the short term. Yes, I'm being paid, 100 euros or, something like that for this hour. Yes, but that hour you spend will also get you a lot of money in return in the future, and time. Another question here: if you're a beginner at something, how should I start by posting a personal brand, and what should I post when I don't know as much in my niche? Okay, well, post about the things you do know and you're interested in. And I also think it's good to start, if you're just starting and you don't know really where to start, just start by being authentic and posting about the things you're interested in and you think your target audience is interested in. If you can't be strategic, but start by posting the things that you really want to post about. Okay, it's better to do something than nothing. um Having clients is exactly like dating: so much ghosting, and very true. When getting ghosted, let it go. Exactly. Exactly. How do I find a suitable strategy for your business? What is a good strategy? I think that's a big question, Frida. I think it's hard to answer it honestly, but I think I'm gonna ask Linnea. Are there any questions on the Facebook Live? No. Okay, cool. Thanks for everyone for watching and staying with me this whole time. And I'm very excited to have talked to you about this subject. And if you're watching the recording, hi, thank you for watching the recording. And I will hopefully see you soon. And again, my 12-week program, you're able to apply to it. And Linnea, maybe you can post it one more time, the URL. And yeah, so thank you so much, and bye.